Hello YouTube, it's Thursday, 1:37 p.m. Thursday, August 24th, 2023, and I wasn't going to vlog today, but I don't know, I always feel the need. Alright, I guess we're following a cat down the alley. Always amusing following cats down the alley. I don't know why it never occurs to them to just get out of the way or go up, but they often just run down the alley, all freaked out that I'm still driving down the alley. I think that one hit behind the power pole. Wow, it is hot as hell in my car, and it's only like 101 degrees, and that's really on me for coming home last night and not putting my sunshade in my car. You know, when it's dark, the last thing on my mind is putting the sunshade in my car, and I keep forgetting that I go to work in the afternoon as opposed to in the early morning. So even if it's not extremely hot, it's still gonna be extremely hot in my car. So pardon the noise, I just need to get a little fresh air in here because it's hot. So I should probably have my head more in the present right now because there's a lot of things going right now, but I'm just so occupied with trying to upload my old vlogs, which at this point means that mentally I'm living 5 weeks in the past. And the one that I uploaded last night, early this morning, more like early this morning, yeah, that one was kind of a rough one to edit and put together because it was when I was leaving Restaurant Depot after my second and what turned out to be my last night at Restaurant Depot. I was scheduled for another night at Restaurant Depot, and one thing I don't think I made clear in my vlogs then was that when I picked up my daughter at the bus stop at 15th Avenue, Roosevelt, and Grand. And I'm actually a little relieved that in the video you really can't see her or the entourage she's sitting with in the bus stop. It just flies by for a fraction of a second. Even my attempts to zoom in on it, like, you don't really see anything. But that scene at the bus stop is going to always stick in my mind. It was one of those Phoenix bus stop scenes that I always find disturbing late at night, where it's long after there's any buses running, and there's just a whole bunch of homeless people with stolen shopping carts and a whole bunch of crap, just trash piled up, sitting at a bus stop, and it looks like they're all doing drugs. And to see that scene and then see my daughter as part of the mix at that scene with all the crap that she had managed to strap on to her walker, most of which is still in my car to this day. Yeah, it was just a little more than I could really deal with. I mean, I got her out of there, and it's a good thing. But now, apparently, she's out of whatever program that she was in. I haven't spoke to her, but I don't know. I think she's trying to call me, and I'm at a point where I don't want to be stuck in this traffic. This must be like right the time where the traffic just falls apart on the 202, because not even 15-20 minutes ago, I looked at the traffic view as I reinstalled Google Maps on my iPhone, and it looked like it just started to back up approaching the short stack, like other side of 24th Street, approaching the short stack, and now it's backed up all the way to 32nd Street, which is fine. I'll just take the route to work that I took yesterday. Oh, and as you probably noticed, I'm driving again. So much for my commitment to use the SkyTrain in transit and other non-driving modes of transportation. I don't have to leave to work like a whole lot earlier, but that half hour of time just seems to be a half hour of time I end up spending on other stuff. And unlike my car, which doesn't go anywhere without me, if I'm not at that bus stop for the southbound 44, I want to say at 1:16, but it's not unusual for that thing to leave 5 minutes early. Sometimes it's early as say 1:10. If I'm not there when that bus goes by, it's not waiting for me, and there's not going to be another one that gets me to work on time. The next one that comes through is at 1:46. Major bus routes with frequencies of only 30 minutes are absolutely ridiculous to me, but that's what we got here. SkyTrain has a frequency of 5 minutes, even late at night when there's hardly anybody running it. But, you know, that shows where Phoenix's priority is when it comes to transportation. If you're rich enough to be flying, then we got you. But if you're relying on anything else, yeah, you know, you can just sit and wait and sweat. Your time is not important. Which I guess I should, you know, count my blessings that I do have a car, such as it is. I didn't vlog after my break last night. It's probably a good thing that I didn't, because I'm just making way too much more video than I have time to edit down. Damn it, I was going to turn right on red and that bicycle was kind of stopped me from getting in front of all these cars. Dang, there's a lot of traffic waiting there on Washington. Normally I can ride on red on Washington pretty quick. Well, I don't know what to think about the overheating in my car. Like, it's not overheating at all right now, but the AC is just borderline useless. Like, it's blowing a little colder than it is outside, but it's not blowing at a temperature anybody would ever accuse of being cold. Anyway, as I was saying, I should be thankful that I do still have a car. And of course, I have to deal with impatient assholes on the roads of Phoenix. There's a guy tailgating me. I mean, we're approaching a red light. I don't understand why he needs to be in such a hurry to get to a red light. But yeah, the guy just, oh, he's finally off my ass. Thank you. As much as that guy's clinging to my ass, you'd think he was a hemorrhoid. It amazes me how some drivers don't seem to comprehend you can't travel down a road any faster than the traffic control devices give you green lights. It accomplishes nothing to go to a faster speed other than getting you to the red light quicker. This guy is really on my ass. Wish I had a rear camera so y'all could see that. AC is finally getting like semi-cold. No, he wanted to get that exit. Minivan guy just took the exit to the left. God, hardly anybody ever uses those things. Okay, where was I? Anyway, sorry, I always get distracted when there's ridiculous drivers that I'm having to cope with. And that tailgater was a bit of a distraction. Of course, I could be like the average Arizona driver and just be completely oblivious to what is in my mirrors, but... Speaking of which, I don't know if I mentioned this in an earlier vlog, but I had a moment with Keontae last week. Because generally speaking, I work with him for about 2 hours between, like, well, hour and a half between, like, oh, it usually ends up being closer to maybe an hour. Because I start working at 2, usually around, I'll be on the lot moving cars by myself. Usually around 2:30 is when I end up meeting up with him, and then we roll together working for an hour, and he's on at 3:30. Anyway, the other day he was talking about how he had a shag. We needed to go up and get his shag, which rolling solo up the shag just seems like a complete waste of a car and gas to me, but that's not how I do it when I'm there and I'm by myself. I take up the cleans and either put them in the flip ramp or put them where they go. So anyway, we're taking one up, and it meets what I understand to be the qualifications of a PC car, which I said President's Choice, but I think that actually stands for President's Circle. Anyway, I'm taking it up. God, every time I come to a stop, just the AC becomes completely it's all hot in here. Not so hot that I think my phone's gonna overheat, but it was getting comfortable until I got to that red light. And we got bum sleeping on the bus stop. Always so classy. So, AC Sandwich Company. There used to be a Waffle House on the right there. Remember one time I ate there and I got so sick I just barfed like nobody's business in the bathroom. Never gone back to that one since. And that one must have been closed for a Waffle House for a long time, because Priscilla and I go to Waffle House, at least we used to go to Waffle House late at night all the time, and it never occurred to us to go to that one. So, and you think when that close, like it would be on right on our radar. I don't know, just looked over and I'm like, oh, there's a Waffle House. That's not a Waffle House. So anyway, I'm with Keontae, and I know that this, I feel comfortable in determining that this is a President Circle car, and he's wanting to go over that direction anyway, because he said he left his shag over at the Dollar Thrifty maintenance line. All the cars in the stalls, which are the parking spots that are numbered, where people pick up rental cars from, the Hertz customers, and the Dollar customers for that matter, but we don't deal with the Dollar cars. Not with the parking of them like that. At least I don't. They're all parked facing out, so back in parking. And so generally speaking, pulling forward and then turning the wheel and backing in. With me, I'm usually turning the wheel to the left, backing in to the left, because that's the way I can turn my head and see where I'm going. Anyway, so I back into the parking spot, no issues at all. I mean, I'm not really fond of backing into parking spots, but I back into the parking spot without any issue, and I go into it. That's the way I would back any car into any parking spot. And out of nowhere, Keontae, and this is one thing I really like about him, because he's young, he's born in 1999, and it gives me an interesting perspective on how different generations think. Because him and I get along so well. And at this point, like, we've spent so much time just alone in a car together. He goes, you know how I know you're old school? I said, no, how? And he goes, the way you just backed that car in like it was nothing. He goes, you didn't even, he points over at the rear view camera screen. Because of course, we have all new, American cars, and I think rear view cameras have been required by law on all new vehicles in the United States, all new vehicles sold in the United States for quite some time. I've never owned one with one, and when I'm in one, I don't use it. It's just not something that's part of how I drive, and I don't trust them. I don't feel like, it just seems like such a skewed perspective that's in that screen. That's distorted. I can't trust what's in that screen. That's not real. When I turn around and see with my eyes, that's real. And so yeah, he goes, you didn't even look at that. He goes, I would have just backed in looking at that screen. That was an interesting moment, to put it mildly. Anyway, yeah, another pretty much useless vlog. I didn't even talk about what happened last night. I don't have time to. I can give you the super short version with no context. Left here on my own. Didn't get any messages from Priscilla that would make me want to go over there. I'm really, after the last time I went there, and I've said this how many times, and then changed myself around. But yeah, after the last time there, zero desire to go there. Sorry, I'm looking at the stuff that's here, debating what I want to do. Somebody left that on my car while I was at the bar last night. Skipper's, I think, is the name of the place I went to. I always want to call it Carousel. I don't understand why I have that dysfunction in my brain. No, I did not go to look at the full nude women at Eve's Teas. That just seems like the biggest waste of money. I got a 65-inch TV screen. I'd rather watch full nude women on my TV. Thank you very much. Although most of the time I just end up watching them on cell phone screens, but that's a separate tragedy. Shut up, car. Yeah, left alone, didn't have really any Priscilla or any other female or even friendly companionship, places to go to kill time. Didn't feel like going home and being alone. So I went to, like I was thinking about doing the night before, I went to Went to the karaoke bar over on 43rd Avenue north of Bethany. His name I can never remember. And yeah, it was totally and completely dead when I got there. There was one other guy sitting by himself I didn't even talk to. I didn't feel any reason to talk to him. I talked to Holly, the host, love her to death. But yeah, no. Now I think at one point I maybe had a chance for female.